Good morning, you're watching PA Harness Week. I'm Charlotte McBride. We have a lot of great races to show you this week, from right here at Harrah's, Philadelphia, up to the Poconos, and out to the Meadowlands. Plus, it's a big week in Canada with many of the sport's best heading north of the border for the North America Cup. Take a look at what you could expect to see in this next half hour. It was a very special night for the family of our co-host Heather Vitale in Canada. We'll tell you all about the amazing accomplishment at Mohawk, and we'll take you to the Meadowlands to see if Father Patrick can turn the tables on JL Cruz. It's all next. Racing's fastest paced half hour is coming your way right now on Comcast Sportsnet.
They're off.
Hi there, Kemosabe, and welcome to Harrah's, Philadelphia for another exciting episode of the TV show we proudly and boastfully call PA Harness Week. She's Heather Vitale. I'm Steve Ross. And I got to tell you, you know, they say self-praise stinks, but however, I'm going to heap a lot of self-praise on me today. And you're probably out there saying, well, why, Schmucko? Let me tell you why. Because I am the host, well, I'm the co-host of a TV show that has a partner whose mother is the trainer of a horse that won $1 million race recently. Now, how many co-hosts of TV shows can boast that?
Charlotte McBride's mom won $1 million race. It's unbelievable. Yeah. No, thank you very much. That's my mom, trainer Jo Ann Looney King.
I know her. I know her personally, Jo Ann Looney King.
Well, Wakizashi Hanover, a horse in our barn, ended up winning the Pepsi North America Cup this past weekend, last Saturday on June 20th at Mohawk Raceway. And why don't we kick off the show with that? Why not?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. All right, getting into the race, though, I do want to talk about the other elimination winners, because the week before, 3 limbs. So the winners of those limbs were number 3, Wiglet Jiglet. He had actually gone into this final with a perfect career of 11-11. And then we've got number 2, Wakizashi Hanover, coming from my mom and my stepdad's barn. And then number 5 in the Arsenal, he won his limb. He was also the winner of the huge Art Rooney Pace that was at Yonkers this year.
They are often pacing and pushing forward from the inside. Wakizashi Hanover and Wiglet Jiglet, those two with the most early speed. From the outside, Ark Hanover is blasting as Christopher launches him up into the mix. Crossed over to get a seat 4th in the early going is in the Arsenal. Parked out from in 5th is Art Speak. Towards the inside, from in 6th, quarter pole bound is Betting Exchange. In at the railway 7th, Good Friday 3. Riding parked out at his flank is Yankee Bounty. Last 2 in this field as they head by the quarter pole in the backfield there. Ark Hanover followed further back towards the inside. Racing up there towards the inside last as the field marches by the quarter in a very quick 25 1/5 there. First quarter, and it's on the board in 25 1. And with that lead as they move up towards the midway point now, Wiglet Jiglet dropped to the pocket spot when Wakizashi Hanover parked out from in 3rd. Penji Hanover on his cover 4th to the outside comes Art Speak. Then inside from in 5th is in the Arsenal. Picking up cover outside to Yankee Bounty now from in 6th. 7th through at the rail, Betting Exchange. Back 3 in the field as they move into the final turn are Ark Hanover, Good Friday 3, and the last one is Hurricane Ali. 53 3 for the first half, and they roll into the final turn to 3/4. Wiglet Jiglet still there with that lead. Second at the inside is Wakizashi Hanover tripping out. 3 wide, tearing off cover comes Art Speak now from the backfield. 3/4, 1:21. And as they come into the stretch, the one to try and track down here, Wiglet Jiglet lays it all on the line. Here to the outside comes Wakizashi Hanover to take his best crack at him. Wiglet Jiglet put to pressure. Wakizashi Hanover on the outside comes by. And it's Tetrick and Wakizashi Hanover off the dreamy 2-hole trip. Crown him the king of the Pepsi North America Cup.
Wiglet Jiglet had control of the front from the get-go. And, you know, everybody kind of assumed that that was what was going to happen. He was going going to end up cutting the mile. Wakizashi Hanover fits right there in a perfect 2-hole trip, and coming down the lane, which is a long lane, a long stretch at Mohawk. Timmy pulls the right line, ends up getting up and winning this huge race. Again, my mom, Jo Ann Looney King, is a trainer. The owners are from Nova Scotia, and they're a group called the Tri-County Stable. 3 of the owners are brand new, which that's really exciting.
How many of $1 Million races, just to be inquisitive, has your mom raced in?
None, and actually she is the 3rd woman in history to win a $1 million race. The other 2 are Casey Coleman, who won the Cup, and also Linda Toscano won the Hambletonian, so my mom is number 3. So.
1 for 1.
Yeah,
way to go,
awesome.
Jo Ann.
So anyway, Wiggle It Jiggle It, I just want to say, settled for 2nd, but just an extraordinary animal, taking nothing away just because he finished 2nd. He's just so amazing, that horse. His betting exchange came in 3rd. Wakizashi Hanover, a bit of an upset here, paying $13.40. Ah, wow, what a race. And our pal, Charlotte McBride, has a little more about it.
Wiggle It Jiggle It was the favorite, but Wakizashi Hanover was the better horse in this year's Pepsi North America Cup final. The 3-year-old pacing colt, driven by Tim Tetrick, charged past the previously unbeaten Wiggle It Jiggle It on the final stretch to win the $1 million race.
My horse was really strong, and I was following Montreal's horse as long as I could. I didn't want to pull too quick, but when I pulled him, I was real confident. I still had the plugs in, and I got even with him and pulled him, and he got by him and held the lead. So I was super happy with his effort. For sure it has been.
Crossing the finish in 1 minute 48 seconds, it was a huge victory and a huge moment for Wakizashi Hanover trainer Jo Ann Looney King.
This is for my dad. This is for my dad.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How hard were you driving him home?
As always, I'm just screaming.
We're over the top. This is a dream. We raced against 9 other really nice 3-year-old colts and geldings, and we've been watching this since last year too. And we made ourselves eligible to quite a few events this year. We didn't do anything with him at 2 years old, but we brought him back and we made him eligible to as much as possible that we could afford. And this comes early, and it is a dream to win $1 million race in North America. So I mean, our guys, we have 3 brand new owners in the harness racing game in our syndicate, and they're ecstatic. I mean, us old guys that are in there too are pretty ecstatic. This is the top. And when you can conquer these guys with a driver like Tim Tetrick and a trainer like the Kings, we had a great caretaker, and we'll have him for the whole year in Philip Moore, and him and the horse are bonded, I can tell you. They are bonded, and it's a thrill for us to deal with these kind of people in the industry.
Jo Ann's family made the trip from their farm in Delaware to the historical track in Canada, and it's an experience Jo Ann's grandson Wyatt won't soon forget.
It makes my grandma happy. We're going to have this trophy. Has a greatest moment ever in my life.
How about that? Is that good enough?
It's the best. You're the best. You're the best.
A deserving win for a deserving family, a dedicated driver, and a determined horse. Reporting for PA Harness Week, I'm Charlotte McBride.
Wow, what an exciting race. And we can't end it with just that, because we have to go to the guy who sat there in the bike in the 2-hole, orchestrated that trip, and won the $1 million race, Tim Tetrick. And you, darling, you caught up with him.
Yes, I did.
Timmy, is this what you bought with your Wakizashi win money?
Yeah, Wakizashi was good to me, so I just got myself a little toy.
Tell me about it. How old is it?
It's a 1940 Chevy. It's all been redone. Got a 350 motor in it, and it sounds pretty good too.
What, are you just going to use it to throw the family in here and go around town?
It's just a toy, just to play on Sundays and in the afternoon. Just have a good time with it.
Okay, now let's get to the race. I felt really confident, because it's all about how I feel, right? When you're sitting in the 2-hole, from where you were sitting, did you really think you had the race won when you went by the quarter?
Well, you never know, but I felt really confident. My horse was, he was already bird dogging that horse really good at 25-1, and Montreal's horse, take nothing away from me, and he raced his eyeballs out. But my horse was on his game that day, and he raced really, really well.
Okay, which North America Cup was more memorable? The first one with Captain Treacherous, or your most recent one with Wakizashi Hanover?
Well, anytime you win a million-dollar race, it's amazing. The connections on both horses have been great to me. This one's a little more family-oriented, so it was pretty special.
Thank you, and congratulations to all the connections. What an amazing night it was in Mohawk. And anybody who was out there or saw pictures of the crowd, it was encouraging. It was a mob scene out there, filled to the gills, and they were young people out there. I mean, this is what everybody's looking for. They were out there at Mohawk on Saturday night, and we're not going to end it with just that, because when we come back, guess what's going to happen later on in the show? We are going to have more stakes action from Mohawk on an incredible night. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the first two finishers of the North America Cup both came from Harrington, Delaware, and they went up to Canada and finished first and second in the $1 million race. As they say, what are the odds?
They say that.
Is that nuts?
Yeah.
All right, when we come back, we're going to go to Pocono and catch action from there. Don't go away.
Here's Big Town Hero, who went off in a victory last time out.
Life. It all comes down to the things you do, the places you see, the people you meet. It's all of the beautiful things, the incredible things, and the spectacular things that makes us feel unexplainable things. Life is going on. All you have to do is choose to live it. Full of life. Mohegan Sun Pocono.
Hi there, welcome back to PA Harness Week. She's Heather, I'm Steve. Let's go up to Pocono, race 5 on Saturday at condition pace. Non-winners of $18,500 in the last 5 starts. There is $18,000 on the line. Number 4 is the big favorite with Simon Allard. He was 2-5. His name will keep you in suspense no longer. Big Town Hero. Number 2 was Ideal Matters with George Napolitano. He was 5-2. The rest double-digit bombers. And here's the call.
Here's Big Town Hero, who went off in a victory last time out. Steps up the ladder for Simon Allard as the 2-5 betting favorite. A length and a quarter now back to Rock and Roll Will Never Die. Fresh off a win at Harrah's. Ideal Matters, the one with the back class in here, sits on the inside third. George Knapp content to save some ground at the moment. Sky McFly fourth, followed around the turn by the 3-year-old Cardiac Fashion. 50 Shades Darker trolling for cover. Then Sweet Talkin' Satin and King Royalty at the back. The half 54-1, 28-1 second panel. Fractions not for the meek of spirit here. Big Town Hero still under wraps, is coasting with a lead of about a length and a half. Inside Rock and Roll Will Never Die is trying to stay close now. McCarthy to the whip there. Cardiac Fashion first over to within 3. Ideal Matters needs racing room. He's boxed in fourth. Behind him, Sky McFly. On the outside, 50 Shades Darker never found that cover. Further back, Sweet Talkin' Satin. 3/4, 121 even. 26-4 third panel as Big Town Hero threw a haymaker at the rest of the field there. Outside Cardiac Fashion, Ideal Matters now swings out 3 wide in a desperate move. Top of the stretch, it's Big Town Hero with the lead. Ideal Matters going to take his best shot now, and he's cutting into that margin. Big Town Hero the lead. Ideal Matters is not going to get there.
Well, Big Town Hero, he was as good as the bettors thought he would be. He wired at 2-5. Ideal Matters was second, just like the bettors said. Number 1, Sky McFly finished third. And we stay at Pocono for Heather. She's got the next race for you. We
have the Open Handicap Pace. It goes for $30,000. There's 2 co-favorites here. Number 7 is Dancin Yankee, 6-5 fave, 1-1, 48-3, and his last to go behind the gate. Then there's number 3, Scott Rocks, also 6-5. He's only $2 behind Dancin Yankee in the win pool. Okay, so that's really,
I'll lend him $2.
That's really co-favorites right there.
Dynamic Youth still leads by a length. 3/4 reached 122-4. 28-1 third panel. Dynamic Youth by about a length. Outside Sparky Mark, inside Scott Rocks. Dancin Yankee still hoping for some kind of room and to beach his own out wide. Top of the stretch, Dynamic Youth by a length. Scott Rocks now in the passing lane and some room outside for Dancin Yankee, who's steaming out there. Scott Rocks, Dynamic Youth, Dancin Yankee, Scott Rocks.
Scott Rocks paces the first quarter in 25-2.
What?
And did I mention that, like, I don't know, about a half an hour before this race went off, it rained. The track was sloppy, okay? He did not get that memo. He does end up letting Dynamic Youth take over, and Dynamic Youth, I think, does what's best for all the parties involved. He slows the pace down a little bit, right? So Scott Rocks uses the passing lane, otherwise known as the Pocono Pike. They win in 150-1. driven by George Napolitano Jr. with for trainer Chris Oakes. Dancin Yankee was second, and then Dynamic Youth was third.
Can we say that Scott Rocks is a mutter?
We can say that. At least the first quarter of a mile, and then, yeah, okay. He did win the race.
He did win the race. Okay, all right, sounds good. Okay. Stick around when we come back. Action aplenty from right here at Harrah's, Philadelphia. Don't go away.
Gianna's Delight supplies the immediate pressure, and these two throw down in the face of Twin B Elite.
It's showtime. It's all about the action, the odds, the wagers. It's all about who drives who. It's all you need to be part of the action. PA Harness Week, harness racing's fastest paced half hour. Saturdays 10:30 a.m. on Comcast Sportsnet Philadelphia. Online at HarnessWeek.com.
Hello there, welcome back to PA Harness Week. She's Heather Vitale, I'm Steve Ross. As promised, continuing action right here at Harrah's, Philadelphia. A condition pace with high-class talent here. Number 4, Gianna's Delight with Tim Tetrick was 8-5. Number 5, Request for Parole. That's a great name, is it not?
Especially for a Philly. This is Phillies and Mayors, right?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. 2-1 with Yannick Gingras. Number 6, Fancy Desire with Scott Zeron was 7-2. And here with the call is Mike Bozich.
Gianna's Delight, after getting stretched out for that whole first quarter, is up by a length. Request for Parole continues the track. Fashion Mystery continues the grind, although she's hanging 3 wide now. Fancy Desire, they straighten the way for the stretch drive. Gianna's Delight turns first. Request for Parole is out for the drive. Twin B Elite now trying to shoot the gap up the inside. Fancy Desire coming determinedly wide. Mid-stretch, Gianna's Delight's almost home. Gianna's Delight holds sway.
After a lot of early activity, Gianna's Delight got the win in 1:54. Request for Parole was second. Twin B Elite off at 8-1 with Alan Davis got third. And now Sunday's 8th. And Heather's got that for you.
Yes, I do. Non-winners of $22,000. Last 5 purses, $22,000. Featured Boys of the Week. 3 of these horses really getting a lot of support. Number 5, Mr. Hassani, slight favorite, up in class, but huge in his last start. Number 2, National Debt, coming off a speedy qualifier. And number 6, El Bloombito, looking for 3 wins in a row.
National Debt has the lead, but here comes Unwanted Company in the form of El Bloombito, who quickly and confidently drives up the challenge, and El Bloombito takes the lead. Mr. Hassani's back to third. Better's Glass is left uncovered fourth. On the outside, Smooth Criminals back on the move fifth around the far turn. Grab Your Keys on the outside with excess covers. Salmon Dawn saves ground 7. 3/4, 120, 1-3 for El Bloombito, looking for his third straight. Up by 3 lengths now. National Debt to the inside of Better's Glass, who's starting to stall uncovered as they straighten away. Mr. Hassani's gap to the inside fourth. In between horses, Smooth Criminal fifth, but it's El Bloombito getting away. National Debt in a place battle with Better's Glass, also charging late. Grab Your Keys to the finish. El Bloombito does it again.
There were more lead changes than I changed my underwear in a week. What? Oh, sorry. All right, the lead went from Mr. Hassani to National Debt to El Bloombito, and that's where it stayed. El Bloombito train. See, now I'm my Spanish is a little bit. El Bloombito.
El Bloombito.
3 times in a row. That's exactly what he did. He's won 3 times in a row for trainer Linda Toscano, this time crossing the wire in 1:58. Career best, equaled his career best. A Better's Glass rally to get the place spot. Grab Your Keys, closed for third. The winning driver was Marcus Miller, and this was on Father's Day. He had 3 wins. I don't even think he's got kids yet, Marcus Miller.
Yeah, what's up with that?
But guess what? Andrew McCarthy and George Napolitano Jr., they each had 4 wins, and they are dads.
Oh,
yes.
Nice. Happy Father's Day to you guys and everyone else, for that matter. When we come back, we have more stakes action you will not believe. We'll go up to the Big M, check out the graduate races. Father Patrick is in one. He's going to take on JL Cruz, see what happens there. And then back north of the border at the Mohawk for some incredible action you will not believe. Stick around.
Here comes JL Cruz with a backside bull rush for Campbell, and Father Patrick is following that move on the outside.
Life. It all comes down to the things you do, the places you see, the people you meet. It's all of the beautiful things, the incredible things, and the spectacular things that makes us feel unexplainable things. Life is going on. All you have to do is choose to live it. Full of life. Mohegan Sun Pocono.
Hello there and welcome back to PA Harness Week. This lovely lady to my left is Heather Vitale. I'm Steve Ross. And as promised, let's go up to the Meadowlands. They had a couple of graduate races there. The first one, a trot, a big deal. $100,000 on the line, but even more so than that, Father Patrick was in the race, and he was upended last time by J.L. Cruz, who was also in the race. So Father Patrick with Yannick Gingras was 1-2, and J.L. Cruz with John Campbell was 9-5. The rest all double digits. What's going to happen? Wait no more.
Here comes J.L. Cruz with a backside bull rush for Campbell, and Father Patrick is following that move on the outside. It's J.L. Cruz now second, up and after Garrell Hanover, the whip on his tail. Father Patrick on the outside, ranging up into the third spot, and J.L. Cruz is going to clear. So Father Patrick is first over, and he's a length and a half from the lead and coming after him. Resolve on the inside, trotting in fourth. Sumatra to the outside fifth, halfway home in 54-1, and Father Patrick pokes ahead in front and gets around J.L. Cruz, crossing over and clearing as they enter the far turn. Garrell Hanover sits tight on the inside third. Sumatra first over. Opulent Yankee is second over. Resolve is now pinned on the pylons to his inside sixth. Datsuk is seventh, and Madewell Hanover and Rompaway Galaxy, and they head around the far turn, and it's Father Patrick a length to the good. J.L. Cruz is in behind in second. Up on the outside, Sumatra edging closer first over. 1:22-3 for three quarters, and the field comes to the top of the stretch, and it's Father Patrick who leads the way home. J.L. Cruz a peek at the pylons, jammed in behind him. Sumatra looking for a big upset is second on the outside. It's Father Patrick with the 16 to go. J.L. Cruz no racing room. Sumatra on the outside. J.L. Cruz squeezing up the rail after Father Patrick. J.L. Cruz.
Well, interestingly enough, number one, Garrell Hanover, number one with Matt Gicali went out for the early lead, and then J.L. Cruz got a little antsy, and John Campbell pulled in the right line, and he took off. Right behind him was Father Patrick. The two favorites went up toward the front. J.L. Cruz clearing first, and Father Patrick getting the lead second. J.L. Cruz stayed relegated in the two-hole. When the real racing came in the stretch in the Meadowlands, what happened? J.L. Cruz got by, won the race. Second time in a row. Is it a pattern? We don't know. But Father Patrick was a game second, and Ocas Fun Set Source was third at 39-1.
You know, just let's remember, Father Patrick's doing double duty too. He's in the breeding shed and he's on the racetrack. Sometimes
poor baby.
It's hard to, you know,
concentrate?
focus. Yeah, concentrate.
So he
yeah.
doesn't just have to train and race. He's got to train and race and make love to a lot of mares.
Yeah.
You got tough. I'm telling you, that's tough action there.
That's what I'm saying.
I really envy the father. It's terrible.
All right, let me get on to the graduate pacers now. This is a huge field here, 12 horses, and it's going at a mile or a mile and 1/8 of distance. So it's kind of an off mile we don't usually see. Number 8 is Jo Ann Hanover. He's 7-2. He won his first two legs of the graduate, but actually the better choice is number 9, Rock-Eyed Optimist. He not only won his first two legs for the graduate, but he's also won 9 out of 10 races this season.
Rock-Eyed Optimist in front with a quarter of a mile to go. Limelight Beach is in the pocket racing in second, and Jo Ann Hanover is coming closer first over for Campbell. They come to the top of the stretch. Rock-Eyed Optimist leads the way. Jo Ann Hanover at his wheel, trying to gun him down on the outside. All bets off, kicks off that cover. Limelight Beach is fourth. Jo Ann Hanover and Rock-Eyed Optimist. The stablemates are slugging it out. Rock-Eyed Optimist game. Jo Ann Hanover getting up.
Rock-Eyed Optimist gets to the front by the time they pass the half. And while Rock-Eyed Optimist raced really great, Jo Ann Hanover raced better. I'm telling you, like, he and John Campbell are just kind of like on there on the outside, never seeing the pylons, grinding up to the front. By the time they get to the stretch, you know, here's Jo Ann Hanover looking at Rock-Eyed Optimist. Meanwhile, they come from the same barn. They're both Steve Elliott trainees. So yeah, Jo Ann's kind of like, dude, I gotta get to the winner's circle. I see you at the barn. Jo Ann wins in 2:02-3. Remember, this was a longer race than usual, 1 mile and an 1/8. And also, this was a world record, by the way. Yes, I should mention that. All bets off, he checked in for third.
Alrighty, let's go back north of the border to Mohawk for the Ambro Flight, $220,000 on the line. Number 5, Be a Magician, the odds-on choice at 1-5 with Brian Sears. Shake It Carry, who is always tough, is 7-2. And third choice was Classic Martine, number 1 at 10-1. And here's Ken Middleton with that call.
Be a Magician opens up on this field and opens up big time. Be a Magician rocketing away. She leads it by 6 lengths now. Back into second is Classic Martine, and up off cover from the backfield is Charm Life. And this is absolute domination as Be a Magician roars away. And it's the Ambro Flight final to Be a Magician.
Classic Martine set the pace for a half a mile, and then suddenly Be a Magician said, enough of this nonsense. Boom, and bolts right to the front and takes it from there. Day at the Beach wins for fun by 4 open lengths. Easy as can be at 1-5 with Brian Sears. Second was Charmed Life, a bomber, 26-1 with Jody Jameson. And third was Classic Martine, who just outlasted Shake It Carry. But we're not done. We got more.
Oh, I have the Pacers now. It's the Roses Are Red. $350,000 Canadian. Number 5, You Gonna Kiss Me or Not, is the favorite. She finished second in 148.3 last week to number 3 in here, who is Lady Shadow. And Lady Shadow's second choice. And then there's number 2, Colors of Virgin, getting support. Her claim to fame is she won the Jugette last year.
Lady Shadow is off by 2 lengths. She's at 3/4 in 1:21.1. McNair fired a third quarter in 27 flat with Lady Shadow, and she comes into the stretch. Lady Shadow well off the rails. She's clear by 3. Cut loose late on the outside comes You Gonna Kiss Me or Not. She's steamrolling. Still there on that lead, Lady Shadow. You Gonna Kiss Me or Not. Wasmula onto the scene late, sand between your toes. Lady Shadow is clear.
Lady Shadow grabbed the front at the midway point, and then from that point on, she just leaves everybody in her shadow, ends up winning in 148.3. I know, I have to like breathe that, just absorb that for a moment. Whoa, okay.
That's fast.
I know, right? She's driven by Doug McNair, and her winning trainer is Ron Adams. You Gonna Kiss Me or Not, and Sand Between Your Toes, sprinted home from the back of the pack. They raced super, couldn't get there though, but they did grab second and third.
All right, the Fan Hanover is next. It is a big event for 3-year-old pacing fillies, and it's big because the previously undefeated JK She's a Lady was in here, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
And she was beaten last week.
In her elimination.
In her elimination. Now she's back for the final. What's going to happen? She was a 5-horse. Number 2, Sasha Hanover with Yannick Gingras 2-1, and is going to be tough to deal with here. And also Wrangler Magic with Sylvain Filion was 5-1, and Ken Middleton's got the call.
Sasha Hanover spins for home. Out of the pocket spot, Wrangler Magic. JK She's a Lady on the outside again. Not tonight from in third. Far outside and rushing up comes Dr. Terror, trying to scoot through at the cones with pace to Single Me. To the outside, Wrangler Magic is coming on, and here's Wrangler Magic on the outside for Filion.
Sasha Hanover with Yannick set the early pace, and in the 2-hole was Wrangler Magic right in behind. Coming up first up was JK She's a Lady, but as it turned out, a mild upset here. Wrangler Magic gets it done, wins it at 5-1 and 150-2. The show returns. The horse owned by Richard Young at 113-1 does these sorts of things. Finished second. An amazing race, an amazing day at night at Mohawk. And before we leave, I got to tell you, for your mom, her joy and elation, seeing her after the race, winning that $1 million race, and I think she's going to get a lot more clients and a lot more shots at $1 million races. It could not happen to a nicer person, a nicer family. I'm thrilled for your family. Beyond words.
Thank you. I don't want her getting any more clients because I need her as a babysitter, so just putting that out there.
Don't get too big, Joanne. Not too big, a little bigger, that's all. That's going to do it for this edition of PA Harness Week. For all of us, Bruce Casella, Charlotte McBride, my boo, Heather Vitale, I'm Steve Ross, reminding you to pick up the pace just a taste and get yourself high on harness.
It's only natural.